President Barry Martinez condemned the action after the chamber was cleared and the members returned.
Jumping over a barrier and putting other people's lives at risk, that cannot be the norm around here. And we cannot legislate in fear. I certainly will not do that.
Other council members told the protesters misguided, saying the legislative action was not aimed at criminalizing homelessness, but removing encampments that could threaten the safety of children if they walk to schools or daycare centers. The measure passed on an 11-3 vote. At LA City Hall, Pete Demetrio, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
State health officials laid out their plans to keep kids safe from COVID as they head back into the classroom.
As BA.5 cases continue to spread, we have new tools and knowledge to combat the virus. Here's California Department of Public Health, Dr. Sohail said.
And while there are some signs that hospitalization rates may be waning, which is welcome news, overall it does look like COVID-19 is with us for the foreseeable future.
He says many students are now vaccinated. There's much better air filters, more masking, social distancing, and at-home testing.
There's no current plans to institute a mask mandate at this time. We're always reviewing the data and looking at the number of cases, hospitalizations, and the severity of disease.
LAUSD will test all students and staff when school starts Monday, then again at the end of the first week. Emily Valdez, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Custody about Monterey Park police officer killed in Downey was just 26 years old.
The murdered off-duty officer is identified as Guardio Solorio, and he had only recently graduated from the academy and moved from recruit to Monterey Park police officer. That was July 25th.
Although his time with Monterey Park was very short, we all knew from the moment we met him that he had the heart of service and was going to be a great officer.
Monterey Park's police chief, Kelly Gordon, Solorio was shot to death. It was in the parking lot of a gym here in Downey.
And I understand there's a lot of questions. I'd ask that you give us a little more time and patience as we allow the investigators to do their job. Trust me, I have a lot of questions myself. I want answers.
The Downey Police Department is handling this investigation. They're following up on numerous leads, but say there's nothing they can reveal right now. Public in Downey. Craig Ficker, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Federal prosecutors are seizing a private plane owned by infamous attorney Michael Avenatti. The former attorney for adult film actress Stormy Daniels owes a lot of money and will spend about 5 years in prison. And now he's minus the private jet he owns. Government attorneys say Michael Avenatti stole around $10 million from clients trying to keep his nearly bankrupt firm alive. He admitted he took more than $2 million in the client's settlement money and the same day bought the plane. He didn't have an objection to the seizure. The government often takes such assets. Seizures are mostly publicized in cases where drug kingpins have expensive vehicles and homes. Avenatti was also convicted for trying to extort $25 billion from Nike. Republicans are extremely upset about the FBI raid at former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida as part of an investigation into how he handled classified material. CBS's Skyler Henry has more.
Republican lawmakers soundly criticized the search calling for hearings looking into the FBI.
There's been lots of questions before this raid about whether or not the FBI is doing their job. And we don't know the answer to that question yet.
Trump family calls it political persecution, maybe for one reason. They don't want Donald Trump to run and win again in 2024. The surge has angered many of the former president's supporters who rallied outside the Trump Tower in New York. Trump back raising off the news. Sitting out Texas, asking supporters to donate.
FBI raid also triggered a shift about Mr. Trump's rise who had been privately waiting to choose to allow public to run. Conceded her race in Washington State's primary for the 3rd Congressional District to a Trump-endorsed candidate, Joe Kent, former Green Beret. The incumbent voted to impeach the then president through 3 GOP primary challenges. So far, 7 of the 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach Mr. Trump will not return to Congress. Thursday announced it is a primary rule. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, the rest of the
in the San Fernando Valley, you're going to see some Caltrans cones on the northbound and southbound 101 between Woodland Hills and Encino. They've also got a connector closed leaving northbound 101 Hollywood Freeway to the northbound 101 Ventura Freeway. That'll be open back up about 5 a.m. is what they're telling us. In North Hills on the southbound 405, starting at Nordoff, you're going to see 3 lanes shut down. That leaves you 1 lane open. Right now, I'm not seeing any delays caused by that. Downtown, you've got the eastbound 10 southbound 110 closed, and a couple of connectors on that westbound side to the north and south 110. Those are also shut down. Got some slowing through West Covina for Channel Trans work on the westbound 10, and there's a full freeway closure in Westminster. The 405 north is shut down from Volta to Westminster. Next report at 12:45. Before reports more often. KNX News 97.1 FM.
Temperatures around Southern California right now. We're looking at the Rancho Cucamonga, 76. Pomona now at 74. In Orange, it's 70. And San Fernando, 75 at 12.
Tom Brown's NMLS 366860, DRE 01789756. Stated loans are for business purposes.
Tom Brown here. If you need cash and have equity, I can lock up to $5 million stated income loan. We can cross-collateralize your rental property, land, mixed use, multifamily, or commercial property. Call me, Tom Brown, today at 844-949-5600. If you have an LLC, or a trust, or reverse mortgage, buried in credit card debt, or just need assistance with financing a property, I can help. Call me, Tom Brown, right now at 844-949-5600 and unlock up to $5 million with a stated income loan. Call me, Tom Brown, proud Navy veteran, at 844-949-5600. Call 844-949-5600 or Google TomBrownLending.com.
Each year, over 1 million fires burn in America. Fortunately, firefighters are on the job, and you can be part of it. 7 out of 10 firefighters are volunteers. Anyone can volunteer to serve, and your community needs you.
He's charged with 2 murders of Muslim men over the past year. After 39 years old, after police arrested a man for the murders of 2 Muslim men. Investigators believe he may be involved in killing 2 other Muslim men over the past 9 months.
Made our community feel like it's under attack.
Police chief Harold Medina said 51-year-old Mohammed Syed is charged with 2 counts of homicide, and the district attorney's office is working on charges related to the other 2. Omar Project, CBS News, California.
Storm in Dallas man was convicted of fatally shooting his 2 teenage daughters in 2008.
Prosecutors say Yasser Said was obsessed with possession and control. Daughters said they did not want to live by the rules of their father's culture. He came from Egypt. He also opposed the arranged marriages that he planned. About a week before the killings, Said's daughters and their mother fled their home, hoping to escape.
This verdict was not a surprise considering the evidence and Yasser Said's years-long efforts to evade capture. But what continues to surprise some is Said's stubborn refusal to accept any responsibility for ending the lives of his daughters.
CBS's J.D. Miles says Yasser Said faces life in prison without parole when he is dead. There'll be some spraying this week to keep aggressive mosquitoes in one neighborhood in Orange County under control.
The 80s mosquito getting established in a Santa Ana neighborhood. These are backyard mosquitoes that can start during the day.
We have over 100 trucks that go out weekly throughout the county, and we take the number of mosquitoes flying each of those trucks and sort of average it out to a county number. And when we see that a certain area has a significant increase compared to that county number, we know that there's an issue there.
Laura Young with OC Mosquito and Vector Control District.
The residents can really be active in mosquito control, and that's how we're really going to make an impact in the number of these mosquitoes, by everybody checking their yard continuously every week.
Young says the spraying is safe for people and pets. It'll be done by truck between 2 to 5 a.m. on Wednesday and Thursday. Natalie Savidian, KNX News 97.1 FM.
LA Department of Water and Power will have to delicately thread the needle on water supplies in the coming years as the traditional sources of drinking water for Southern California start to dry up. First, good news. DWP customers cut back water use by 11% in July. That's a record for the summer season. Assistant General Manager Anselmo Collins told the DWP board meeting that another dry year for California is on tap, and 2 long-time sources for fresh water are drying up.
California could be impacted by this. Maybe 2024, we don't know yet, but if that happens, now you have the State Water Project and the Colorado River, both sources of water that we purchase water from Metropolitan, that are impacted simultaneously. So certainly the situation is quite serious. We're doing okay now, but we're not in the best situation yet. So we need to continue conserving as we're doing right now.
That's why the DWP is leaning so hard into water recycling programs in the near future. With Southern California's traditional sources of fresh drinking water rapidly drying up, what will the LA DWP do to keep the city fully supplied? Well, the manager of Water Resources Policy, Terrence McCarthy, tells KNX water recycling is the future.
We are still in the planning processes for both the upgrades at our largest wastewater recycling plant at Hyperion Reclamation Plant, and also in the planning for kind of revamping our infrastructure to be able to deliver that advanced treated water back up into the city from Hyperion. So in terms of time frame, I think the initial targets are looking between 2035, 2045.
McCarthy said the other priority is to capture and store as much rainwater in the future as possible. Take a look at the drive downtown in 4 minutes. It's 12:41.
Help protect yourself with IQAir's Health Pro Plus, the #1 large room air purification choice for viruses. And for a limited time, use promo code RADIO and save 5%. Visit IQAir.com/US. That's IQAir.com/US.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years. Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications, so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out. AA or CO. Check engine light on? We'll check it for free.
Summer technology sales, incredible factory direct deals on the very latest Samsung, Sony, LG, and more. Listing the patrons ever in your own home tonight. Many of our lowest prices ever, plus free setup. These latest 4 and 8K smart TVs have it all. Streaming is built in. Cable ready? Of course. Movies, sports, entertainment, and more, all built in the set. Wow, the Samsung 85-inch 4K Smart HD TV. That's actually $14.97 to 75% off. 65,527. The 55-inch Samsung 4K $397. TV was on. Hardware is off. The exciting Samsung frame television from just $457. Sony's latest OLED TVs. The 55-inch Smart $1598. Save up to $1,000 on LG's latest OLED TVs. The Video and Audio Center Summer Technology Sales. Or call our hotline 310-899-2929.
Regrow your own natural hair with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatments backed by the Advanced Hair Guarantee. Get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts by calling 844-333-HAIR, AdvancedHair.com.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when spraying cats and dogs? Because you may step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dam? Because he didn't have anybody to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the AdCouncil.
That's really funny.
From El Monte to Anaheim.
The news has never been clearer. KNX News, 97.1 FM. Everything you need, every time you listen.
12:45. I'm Bob Brill. Stories coming up on KNX News, 97.1 FM.
I'm Margaret Carrero in downtown LA with what was presented during opening statements in the sex abuse trial of a former UCLA gynecologist.
Big Ten sports are going to disappear from ESPN.
LA County opening up more walk-up style monkeypox vaccine sites. We'll tell you where. I'm Natalie Savidian.
Those stories coming up in the next 15 minutes. First, we're checking traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s with Tanya Campos.
If you're driving through Orange County, you're going to see some Caltrans work both on the 5 and the 405. And now the 405's got a full freeway closure in Westminster. The northbound side is very slow from about Beach We've got a full closure up ahead at Bolsa to Westminster, and that will open back up about 5 a.m. Got a couple of lanes closed on southbound 405 in Costa Mesa from Fairview to the 73, and then in Santa Ana, you see a couple of lanes closed on the southbound 5 before 4th Street. Caltrans is working there until 5 a.m. Checking out your drive, I did see a little bit of slowing as you're heading through West Covina on that eastbound 10 from Pacific to Azusa Avenue. There are a couple of lanes closed. Now your drive downtown, you're going to see some various on and off ramps closed along your drive on the 110. If you're heading on the eastbound 10, that transition to southbound 10 is closed, and the south 110 to the west 10 is closed. A lot of transitions closed along with the 5 south to the southbound 110. Next report is 12:55. Before reports more often, KNX News 97.1 FM. Mainly warm and dry weather continuing as we head into the weekend. We will see the potential for monsoon moisture Friday through Sunday in the afternoon hours, mainly in the higher elevation. Otherwise, dry and warm. 70s, 80s, and 90s expected for the remainder of the week. With Southern California's most accurate and dependable forecast, I'm CBS 2 meteorologist Evelyn Taft, KNX News 97.1 FM.
Currently in Santa Ana, it is 70 degrees. Long Beach at 72. West Covina now at 75, and in Arleta it's 75 at 12:47. Opening statements have been delivered in the trial of a former UCLA gynecologist who's charged with sexually abusing 7 former patients.
According to the prosecution, the women either had an emergency medical procedure that needed to be dealt with or were suffering from cancer or the possibility of cancer, which brought them to Dr. James Heaps, a gynecologist-oncologist. Deputy District Attorney Danette Myers said they trusted Heaps.
He engaged in what the people believe to be conduct that amounts to not medical necessary, but conduct that was performed for sexual gratification.
Defense attorney Leonard Levine told jurors the evidence will show that Heaps had a chaperone in the examination room for every exam for every one of the patients.
In other words, in order for him to have engaged in sexual gratification, he would have had to do that in the presence of a chaperone who was right there.
Heaps is facing 21 felony counts and has pleaded not guilty. In downtown LA, Margaret Carrero, KNX News 97.1.
A welcome monkeypox vaccination site has opened at Barnesdale Art Park on Hollywood Boulevard.
Hundreds of people in Los Feliz will be able to get vaccinated on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12 to 4 p.m., but it's only open to those who qualify and get a confirmation from County Health. These people in line to get the vaccine.
Feel pretty at ease, CDC approved. It eases a lot of anxiety. I'm excited.
James Chang is with the pharmacy running the walk-up clinic.
So qualification, it could be gay or bisexual men and transgender, persons of 18 or older. Right now they have 4 tiers, which is multiple or anonymous sex partners in the last 14 days. For diagnosis of gonorrhea, syphilis, for the past 12 months.
Chang says immunocompromised people with HIV will be prioritized. Reporting in Los Feliz, Natalie Savidian, KNX News 97.1 FM.
Smaller doses could be the key to expanding the availability of the vaccine as demand continues to outpace supply. FDA Commissioner Robert Heller.
Today, the FDA has issued an emergency use authorization, or EUA, allowing healthcare providers to use an alternative dosing regimen of the Jynneos vaccine. This will increase the total number of doses available for use by up to 5-fold.
Health officials say giving the vaccine intradermally, or just under the skin, requires just 1/5 of the current dose size. It still provides protection against monkeypox. The CDC says it's working with local healthcare providers to make sure people are trained on the new injection method, and it'll still require 2 separate doses given about 4 weeks apart. LA City Council still undecided on whether City Controller Ron Gelfand had the legal authority to cut Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas' pay and benefits after he was suspended from the council last October and after being indicted in a federal corruption case. Councilman Curran Price filed a motion asking City Attorney Mike Pure to report to the council within 10 days on whether Gelfand could legally stop paying for Ridley Thomas. Coming up at in just a couple of minutes, we'll take a look at the latest in a child porn arrest. But right now, it's 12:50. Pay any money? Here is Larry Kosky.
The Justice Department has Google in its crosshairs. Sources say it's preparing to file antitrust charges as soon as they cross, accusing Google of illegally dominating the digital advertising market. marked the government's second case against Google following a 2020 suit accusing it of dominating online search. A popular diabetes drug, Merck's Januvia, has been found to be contaminated with a potential carcinogen.